10 bizarre ends.
Imagine you're at this wild foam party, sipping on your cocktail right in the pool. Suddenly, the water level starts dropping. At first, you think it's some prank, like someone just opened a drain.
Okay.
But then, why does an actual whirlpool start forming in the pool?
In a pool?
It sucks you right into a hole beneath the pool, far from those twisted water slides at a water park, and more like torture. You're struggling, running out of breath. The water current drags you past sharp rocks mixed with dirt, leaving deep wounds and bruises, breaking bones, and eventually, you succumb to the injuries. Could this really happen in real life? Absolutely. That's how Khalil Kimi from Israel met his end. There's even video footage, though the camera started rolling only after Khalil got sucked into the pool's hole. The footage shows another guy almost falling into the same trap. Rescuers found the victim's body 13 meters deep in the pit formed beneath the pool.
Oh my god.
As you can see, death can lurk in the most unexpected.
Oh my god, so it's like a full-on sinkhole in the pool. What, and is that strong? It will drag you down there. Yo.
Formed beneath the pool. As you can see,
horrible.
Death can lurk in the most unexpected
That's horrible.
places. And a pool isn't even the weirdest of them. As always, viewer discretion is advised. Now, when you hear trap, you probably don't picture a pool. Yet Khalil Kimi's story isn't the only example of a pool party turning deadly. On February 28th in 2020, Russian blogger Yekaterina Didenko celebrated her birthday in a sauna. To spice things up and create interesting content, the guests decided to dump dry ice into a small pool.
Okay.
You might ask, what's dry ice? It's carbon dioxide cooled until it becomes solid, just like fluffy snow. They pressurize it to get denser granules. The temperature of this dry ice is around minus 79 degrees Celsius.
What?
It's usually used for freezing food, but is it okay to throw it in a pool? Well,
why would you put it in a pool?
This ice is also used to create a fog effect. Harmless enough. I mean, almost. The video shows everyone having fun in experiment-themed costumes, playing the role of scientists on camera. However, most likely, none of the guests really understood chemistry.
How's it going, lady?
This method of creating fog is safe only in large outdoor pools. Now, as you can see in the video, this pool is indoors. Plus, they used too much ice, 30 kilograms in total, to be exact. As soon as it hit the water, it rapidly turned into carbon dioxide, displacing oxygen from the room. Unfortunately, nobody realized that. Two guys joyfully jump into the fog and disappear. The video cuts off because, suddenly, everyone around found it hard to breathe.
Wait, what?
Guests rushed outside to catch some air, but it didn't help.
Wait. So they've literally just gassed themselves out? They've literally suffocated themselves? What?
People felt so sick that they had to call an ambulance.
Hey, would they not know the dangers before putting that in the pool? Like, surely to put it in the pool, like, you know what it is and you research it, right?
What's the most horrifying part? Two guests who jumped into the pool died on the spot, and the blogger's husband died in the emergency room. You know, sometimes you can end up in a trap entirely by accident.
What?
For instance, on January 27th, in 2023, Kevin Holding, a tech guy, was just doing his regular gig in London. His job was fixing one of those pop-up public urinals near Cambridge Circus in the city center. It was a toilet with a fancy mechanism, lowering it underground during the day.
Yo, I've seen that London has these, right? Like in videos, but I've never heard about them ever. Like, yo, I'm telling you right now, I'm not going in a toilet that comes out of the ground like this.
Bringing it up on the street at night. Oddly enough, this toilet's mechanism decided to drop underground right when Kevin was fixing it.
I heard about that.
So that you know, an empty biotoilet cabinet can weigh around a whopping 110 kilograms. And this urinal setup was clearly even heavier. Dozens of firefighters spent more than 2.5 hours trying to free him from this trap, but it was all in vain. Kevin was practically squished to death. The autopsy showed that the man died from compression asphyxia. That's when your airways get squeezed or restricted, leading to a lack of oxygen in your system. Now, what could be scarier than that? Perhaps being baked alive. Back in 1998, in Walsall, UK, at the Harvenstein Bakery, engineers David Mays and Ian Erickson were just doing their usual thing, expecting yet another ordinary day. Their task wasn't too complicated. Inside a large bread oven, some parts were acting up, and they needed to check it out. To do that, the oven had to cool down so the workers could enter and reach the broken part with a conveyor.
Okay.
For time efficiency, though, they quickly cooled it with industrial fans. 2 hours after shutting it down, David and Ian were sent into the oven. They climbed inside through the bottom, reaching the conveyor used for dough delivery. To protect themselves, they wore regular all-purpose suits. Only inside did they realize it was way too hot in there. Erickson relayed this info to the folks outside through a radio, but suddenly the mechanism started moving so fast that they couldn't climb back out and literally got baked alive. Yet no one really knew how to help them because stopping the conveyor to pull the guys out was impossible by then. They had to wait for the conveyor to pass through the entire oven, and that took 17 minutes.
Wait. They got in, realized it was too hot, and can't get out. How can you... I feel like you'd be able to get out. Like, you get in, realize it's... What?
The two workers endured temperatures of 100 degrees Celsius in that trap.
Oh my God.
Obviously, Ian and David succumbed to life-incompatible burns.
Did it not stop
However,
it?
the worst traps you absolutely can't escape are definitely airplanes.
Yeah, did it... Oh, it just started moving? Would it not shut it fully down so it didn't start when they're in there? Like, that makes no sense. Like, surely you would turn it fully off so it can't start.
Where anything can happen on board. On December 16th, 2016, Rave Subramaniam, an airport worker in Mumbai, was on the runway, giving commands to a plane as it pulled out of the parking area. The pilots were in a hurry, running over an hour late for their flight. They overlooked that 4 ground crew members were still around. The tow truck drivers scattered, but poor Subramaniam, standing with his back to the plane, didn't realize it was coming right at him. In a matter of seconds, he got sucked into the jet engine, shredding his body. Subramaniam died on the spot. Still, that's not even the weirdest airport story.
Wait. How would you not know a plane's coming up to you? They're pretty fucking loud. He must have like the earmuffs on, right? Damn, bro.
August 10th, 2018, at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport in Washington, a bizarre incident was caught on surveillance cameras. It seemed like a regular airport scene. A plane taxiing for takeoff. What's wrong with that? Well, nothing. Except it wasn't supposed to take off in the first place. Dispatchers immediately contacted the pilot to figure out what was going on, but no one responded. Then they asked who was at the control panel. Everything was silent for a moment when suddenly the pilot spoke.
Seattle ground, Horizon guy, about to take off. It's going to be crazy.
It was going to be crazy.
Dispatchers quickly realized that the plane had been hijacked. That day, 29-year-old Richard Russell, a ground control agent at Seattle-Tacoma, started his shift as usual. For the past 4 years, he and his team were responsible for baggage and towing planes on the runway.
Okay.
Here's a video of him casually passing through the staff security gate wearing a Sky's the Limit t-shirt. Unfortunately, no one paid much attention to the print. Then he went to the bathroom and came out only after 5 hours, ready to work.
Okay.
While no one was looking, Richard sneaked into the cockpit of a plane he had just helped tow. Dispatchers pleaded with the guy not to do anything foolish since Richard had no flying experience whatsoever. Yet he seemed obsessed with the idea of flying. When the plane took off, an emergency signal blared throughout the airport, prohibiting all other planes from taking off. All except 2 F-15 fighter jets sent to intercept Richard. He told dispatchers their efforts were in vain. He wouldn't land the plane until he tried a few stunts. Richard suddenly started maneuvering the plane, performing loops and rolls.
Yeah, he's crazy, bro.
That's when the workers recognized these moves. They're from the Grand Theft Auto game
Oh my
simulator.
God!
Apparently, Richard was a gaming addict. Of course, those skills still weren't enough to
Bro!
control a real plane. Meanwhile, the two
Yo, bro, you're telling me this guy's been playing too much GTA? He's actually trying it in real life. He's actually trying it in real life.
Interceptors tried to guide him toward the ocean, knowing he couldn't handle a landing, and the water would be a softer crash. Richard told dispatchers his loved ones would be disappointed when they found out what he'd done. Those were his last words before the plane crashed into Ketron Island. He died on the spot.
Oh my
You
God.
know what? Sometimes, even pros find it tough to handle a plane. This live stream on Facebook
Crazy.
on February 15th, 2023 was hosted by Sanu Jaswal. He was filming directly from the plane of Yeti Airlines Flight 691, departing from Kathmandu, and in 25 minutes bound for Pokhara, Nepal. The passenger was just capturing a nice view from the window, unaware that he would accidentally record one of the most horrifying tragedies of the year. At some point,
what?
the camera starts shaking violently, and you can hear people screaming off screen. Soon, there's a bright flash, followed by fire. The video abruptly ends. Less than 2 minutes before the fatal crash, Captain Anju Katawada had ordered the deployment of the plane's flaps. However, one of the pilots accidentally moved the power lever instead of the flap control.
Hey, can we please stop with the plane ones, bro? I'm already afraid of planes, man. Can we... Bro, what?
As a result, the plane started plummeting and crashed upon impact with the ground. This mistake led to the death of all 72 people on board,
Wow.
including 2 children. Still, that's not the most terrifying, unexpected death you could face in the air.
More!
In this video, shot in 2016, you see a happy guy about to skydive for the first time.
Oh,
This
skydiving.
is
Never mind,
Tyler
I'll never
Turner,
do this.
who was only 18 at the time.
I'll never do this.
Tyler had mild cerebral palsy, but that didn't reduce his zest for life or stop him from engaging in various kinds of sports. The camera was capturing him near the Skydive Lodi.
No, Loli, you're so right. At this point, honestly, I'm going to travel to America by boat. I'll just go in my little boat with my little paddles. It might take me a good, couple of months, maybe even longer, but I'll get there, man.
Parachute center, with the person behind the camera asking if Tyler was scared, to which he responded,
A little bit scary. When I get up there, it's gonna be like, oh gosh, adrenaline's gonna kick in.
Tyler was tandem jumping with 25-year-old instructor Yang Kwan. According to Yang, he had over 700 jumps under his belt,
that's making
so
me
he
feel
was
sick.
entirely trustworthy. Tyler and Yang jumped from an altitude of almost 4,000 meters.
True, Maisie, true.
And in the crucial moment, the instructor couldn't deploy their parachutes. Meanwhile, Tyler's mother was watching from below, witnessing her son's fatal crash. Yang also died in this bizarre incident. But why didn't he react and open the backup parachutes? It turned out the instructor had forged documents claiming he had proper certification.
What?
In reality, Yang was still on probation and lacked the necessary emergency training.
Wow.
The court ordered the center owner to pay the family $40 million. Being up high makes it pretty challenging to respond quickly to unplanned situations.
Wait, $40 million? That's a crazy amount. Hey, Izzy! You ever thought about going skydiving? I know the place. Where you can go. I know the place.
So think twice before deciding to skydive.
I'm about to claim my
or
40 mil.
Take a ride in a hot air balloon for that matter. In Egypt, it costs around $150, and the lines for this attraction are always massive.
Would you guys do
So
this?
this British guy, Michael Rennie, was feeling pretty lucky that he and his wife scored a ride on a hot air balloon. Along with Michael, there were 20 tourists and a pilot named
I
Murad
could
Ali.
never.
They all arrived before sunrise, and as they ascended, they got a breathtaking view of the Karnak Temple complex, the Luxor Temple, and the Valley of the Kings in all their glory with the first rays of sunlight. Everything was fantastic until the landing. At about 9 meters up, a beautiful panorama was suddenly blocked by a wall of fire engulfing the balloon. Panic ensued among the people who didn't understand what was happening and had no clue how to escape when there was nowhere to run. As it turned out, there was a gas leak in one of the 4 gas balloons,
Oh my
causing the
God.
fire. Without much thought, Michael and Morad jumped from the burning balloon, leaving 2 less people on board, which messed up the balance, making the balloon shoot up to a height of 300 meters. Meanwhile, Morad and Michael hit the ground, burning up almost entirely, and the fall resulted in multiple fractures. At least, they were alive. They lifted their heads only to realize the rest were now so high up that jumping wasn't an option. The people there were literally burning alive. Michael was torn apart.
Wait, the ones that jumped out first survived? Oh, damn. That was smart. Yeah, to be fair, I probably would have jumped as well. Like, it's like natural, just instinct, isn't it? Like, instead of being in the air, burning, just jump out now, whilst it's like, it's high, but you know. Take your pick.
At the thought that
Take
his
your
wife
pick.
was still up there. And when the balloon started descending again, they witnessed an even more horrifying scene. At a height of 30.5 meters, 6 people decided to jump from the balloon, not realizing it was way too high.
Oh.
They were trying to escape the fire, unaware there was no chance of survival. Upon hitting the ground, all of them died instantly, including a pregnant woman. The flames quickly spread throughout the balloon and reached the gas canister, causing a powerful explosion. The remaining people on the balloon died on the spot. After this tragic incident, balloon flights across the country were temporarily suspended, but not for long. Nowadays, you can find numerous companies online offering to see the sunrise in Egypt from the aerial view.
Fuck that. Ain't no way I'm flying through the sky on a balloon, mate. Hell no.
Who knows if they checked their hot air balloons any better than they did back then? All these tragic stories, unpredictable circumstances, and the reasons behind them just boggle the mind. They can only be surpassed by a mysterious death, the causes of which remain unexplained to this day.
Stream it.
This woman's name was Mary Cerruti, and she lived in Houston Heights alone in a house with many cats. She didn't have many close friends or relatives, so no one noticed that something strange, even mystical, happened to her in 2015. One day, a neighbor noticed her window was broken. He glanced at the yard and saw the overgrown grass and the mailbox bursting with letters. Mary, as a neat housekeeper, wouldn't just neglect her home like that.
Okay.
So the neighbor called the cops to check if everything was okay with her. But when the police entered the house, Mary was nowhere to be found. Concerned, her relatives truly panicked since nobody could believe she would just abandon her cats. Unfortunately, in her absence, many of them passed away. No one understood where Mary disappeared. The investigation dragged on, and she was considered missing. So her house was auctioned off as collateral.
Yeah,
the new owner took her belongings and started renting out the place. However, in 2017, the police station received a strange call. It was the new tenant, his voice trembling as he barely uttered that within the house walls, he found a human skeleton. Rats had heavily gnawed at it, with bite marks even on the glasses. This was truly a gruesome sight. During the examination, they matched the jawbone with Mary's photos, confirming it was really her.
Oh, bro, you would have to... First of all, we'll get to the point with how she's there. I have no clue how she's there, bro. But imagine being a homeowner and finding that. I'd have to move. Like, I'm moving house soon, bro. If I find in my new house a dead person, I'm gone. I'm gone, bro. Selling the house, getting a new one. That's different than someone just dying at the home. You know what I mean? You find someone there, you find a dead body, bro, you will never be able to get that out of your head.
Yet how did she end up between those walls? And who trapped her there? Mary never did harm to anyone, though her relatives suspected the answer might lie in the photos she loved taking. In one of them, she documented the construction of a massive apartment building next to her, what she called her little castle. On the back, Mary wrote about hating the construction noise and feeling uneasy seeing her neighborhood filled with high-rises.
What, so she went inside of the walls to stop the noise? Why is she in the middle of the walls?
She clashed with the developer, refusing to sell her home. Could this be somehow linked to her death? However, there's yet another theory. A broken plank was found in the attic, and if you peek through the hole it left, you can actually see the spot where Mary was confined. So the police think she might have accidentally fallen into the space between the walls and later died there from starvation. But then who broke Mary's window? I guess we'll never find out how she fell into that deadly trap.
Yo, she got murdered, bro. She must have got murdered. I don't think someone's gonna fall through a plank and be stuck there. I don't think a plank is a very small gap. You can easily stick your arms out there and catch yourself. You know what I mean? Damn, bro.
Have you ever been a step away from death? Share in the comments and tell us how you managed to escape.
She got murdered,
also, subscribe to my channel.
She got murdered.